I'm just tired of these females who cooked after 30. I'm going to say it like that. Cooked.
Okay, so you're personally attacking me, so I would like to
How am
know.
I attacking you?
Because I'm after 30, so I'm cooked.
Yeah. 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 Listen.
I'm crying.
Yes, dog. Listen, dog. Guys is over here like, your prime is 25 to 30. Let's keep it 100.
But let me say this. I hear exactly what you're saying, right? I've heard it before. People have said it. Women age like milk, men age like fine wine. I've heard it 1,000 times, right? For me personally, I'm going to say this. Maybe I am cooked, but you know what? I'm cooked and it tastes delicious because I was not given what it needed to give when I was in my 20s. I didn't know my body. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know how to fuck. I didn't know how to suck. I didn't know how to throw it back. Now I could do all of those things plus more. I understand who I am as a woman. My emotional maturity is here. And at the end of the day, I know that it feels like there's women who are jaded because they've been with so many men and now they're cooked. I understand that perspective. But personally, for me, I feel so into my bag as a 30-year-old because...
And then after 34, 35, man, think about this. When I cook some food, all right, it's cooked, right? Now I ate some, then it's leftovers. Then I put it in the refrigerator. After so many days, you got to throw it out. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
Like, how long do Thanksgiving food last after Thanksgiving? How many days we giving it? 3? Then you throw it out. So that means if you cooked at 30, 35, we got to throw it out.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and a few of you ladies that may be listening. This is Spiritual Art of War, back at it again with another episode. We're going to talk about the clip that you just saw from Paul Pierce, okay? Former NBA player, Hall of Famer, champion for the Boston Celtics. I would say that he has a good gauge on women because he's been dealing with a lot of different woman that a lot of men highly desire for a long time. And he has come to the conclusion that women 30 and over are cooked. And here's why I agree with him. So, as you saw in the clip, there's the young, the older woman, young woman. She's younger than me, so I would just call her young woman. She is over 30 and she felt like she has, the experience of how to please a man in a relationship. Here's part of the problem. You're basing your pleasing of a man based off of your experience with other men. So that's one of the problems with modern dating, modern world, Western world, and is that women are gaining experience from men that they're no longer with. And then they're bringing those experiences into the relationship. So think about it for a second. You got a woman who's 30 or over. She's been with different men. She's had a couple of relationships, heartbreak. She's probably also cheated on men that she's dealt with, right? She tries to figure out based on her experience. Remember, women are not really introspective people. They in order to be accountable to oneself, you have to also be introspective. Introspective means to look within. Women don't do that. They're solipsistic. They view the world as from a first person player perspective. Their mind is more important. Their mind and their emotions is more important than anything else outside of themselves. So even if they have a relationship with another person, that relationship is based off of their own emotions. That's their foundation of that relationship, is their emotions first. Okay? And it takes a lot of breaking of the mindset of a young woman from a young age for her to consider other people outside of herself on a consistent basis. Everybody, human beings are all have a natural ego. Okay? That the word ego is, I think it's a Latin or Greek word that really goes back to I. This, so I is really just means ego. Anytime you say I, you're speaking out of ego. But that's not bad at all, because that's your nature of your self-identification of who you are as an individual, okay? If you didn't exist, there would be no I, you would have no ego, right? But when it comes to women 30 and over, I don't look at the age as much as I do the experience over the course of age. Because I'm going to give you an example. You had Lolo Jones, who was a 30-year-old virgin, Olympian, sprinter, LSU. Actually, she grew up, at least for part of her life, not too far from me. In fact, I probably had seen her compete when she was in middle school. She went to middle school out in the Houston area on the southwest side. And she grew up, I think, primarily in, I want to say Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's where she finished her high school. I think her father, I think he might have went to prison. But anyway, she went to LSU. And she was a very popular collegiate athlete. She was a hurdler. And she was a virgin. And that was like one of the big stories about her, was her being a virgin. So I would say if a man met Lolo Jones at 30 years old and she's a virgin, I don't think that's a bad deal at all. I think a 30-year-old Lolo Jones who's a virgin is better than a 21-year-old ran-through chick. You know? I mean, let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the number of age is like a get-all be-all. And I want to bring some nuance to the conversation to show you, like, just because a woman is 30 now, that's rare. Especially when you consider that Lolo Jones probably had especially in her prime, she probably had all kind of men throwing passes at her ridiculously. And people could say she's lying. I don't know how far. Maybe she's done certain things physically that wouldn't constitute sex. I probably doubt that, because I think by now that probably would have went out. But I don't know. I'm going to just give her the benefit of doubt, but never doubt the benefit of a biatch. Okay? But never doubt the benefit of a biatch. That's a saying from Minister Jap. So I don't sit here saying I took it from him and I didn't give him credit. You know, I know how y'all YouTubers are. But yeah, if you say on average a woman who's 30 is cooked, you better believe it. And it's because of the things that she said. Because what a woman like her is doing, she's responding to her past failures, what she liked about those relationships and what she disliked about relationships, what she thought was the reason why it didn't work. And she's bringing that to you as a new man. So therefore, you're just getting an experience from her based off of her own insecurities, her own preconceived notions, and her own understanding of what she thinks a man likes or dislikes based off of a relationship with other men, which some of those experiences didn't really happen. They happened in her head. And a lot of times a woman will analyze the situation that she's in, and she'll just make up things that are really fantastical that never happened. She'll bring in feelings of things that never happened. She'll project her own feelings about a man that's really her own feelings. So, for example, she might have been cheating. Let's say this young woman was stepping out on her man. She might project that he was cheating, so she got to cheat too. So in her mind, oh, he didn't pick up the phone while he was at work, so he got to be seeing somebody else. So now she like, well, let me go. I might as well entertain this situation with this guy that I met at the gym. So in her mind, she's just, doing him bad before she gets done bad. And so you can't take her word of this experience as something that's beneficial to you as a man. And unfortunately, there's a lot of gynocentric, matriarchal, hyena-raised men in this society, especially among black men in America, that will believe that what she said is correct. And they'll say, yeah, I prefer older women. I prefer older women. They got experience. You ain't got to teach them nothing, You ain't got to teach them how to do what, man? I ain't got to teach her nothing. She just know what she need to do. She know that what I want. She gonna know what she gonna have. Yeah, Negro, that sounds like a woman that's a hoe. If a man is going out there to go get a streetwalker, I'm pretty sure that he probably wants her to have experience on how to do certain things. So you're speaking like trick babble. Because in trick babble, you don't got, if you're a trick and you have a mentality of a trick, you don't have the time and the patience and the know-how or the will to train up a woman to be to your liking. I've actually heard men in the manosphere space, the black manosphere space. There's a man, and if I can find the clip one day, I will go into it. Because I know who he is, but I had to find that video, and that video was from some years ago. I wish I had, recorded that clip. Who said that he prefers to be with a woman that has experience. He said he don't want no damn virgin. Mind you, this is a man that's complaining about women being 304s. He's complaining about single mothers. He's complaining about all this stuff. But at the end of the day, if he had his choice to get a young virgin or a seasoned woman like this woman in the clip, he would prefer the woman in the clip. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about when it comes to these men? That's why, at the end of the day, these women being cooked at 30 is in part because there's men that did not want to lock them down when they were younger. Let's just keep it real. There has to be some level of accountability on some of the men that took women's virginity and then discarded them. You knew she was into you, but you wanted to, go out there, like Mike said, people always told him, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' heart. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what they're doing. Some of these men, that's what they're doing. And they're creating these situations. Now, by and large, the women are wanting to do this because I believe that there's a lot of women in today's society that they want to lose their virginity because they want to be like other women. So it's kind of like, let me get it out the way so that way I can be, out there loosey-goosey. So you have some women that want to lose it because they want to be, it's like kind of taking that monkey off their back so they can activate the 304 activities. There is an aspect of that. Okay? So that is a true aspect of women do, there are women that are in that thinking, when they were in their teens, and that's what they want to do now. They were misinformed, they were misled, they were bamboozled, they were hoodwinked, okay, they were led astray. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is in this place. But cooked, yeah. And is it up to us as men to do the emotional labor and face the back end tax of the emotional trauma that they went through prior to meeting you? No, it's not. And a lot of men, this is where you get guilted into trying to save these older women. I see what I've done when I was, over the years, as I made myself a social experiment to prove to myself my own theory that became a reality. I actually was in a situation, and some of my close friends know about this, where I did try and deal with a woman that was 30. Gave her the benefit of the doubt and said, you know what, I'm going to attempt to see if this is going to work out. Mind you, I already had anything over 25 is too old for me to deal with as far as a woman. And I said, you know what, I'm going to give this woman a chance. I'm going to just give her a chance just to see where it's going to go. And I'm going to do right. I'm going to do the right thing. Oh, that woman just, boom. I mean, when I talk about this woman literally hit the eject button because she was so damaged that even a sure thing or even a situation that was more beneficial for her than it even was for me, because of the stuff that she went through, the experiences that she's had, okay, which I found out during the course of the relationship, like, oh, you used to move like this, you used to move like that, oh, you're really into this? You got these women out here, they've had, by the time these women are 30 and 25, they've had probably, a lot of these women that had whole lesbian love affairs. They done a lot of different things, especially if they living in these big cities, these big liberal cities. If they've ever worked in the nightlife, oh, you can forget about it. They done everything. They done damn near everything. Okay? And there's certain cities, that's the ATL, shouting. If they've been there and they're in the nightlife, you can forget about that, bro. There's no fixing that. You need a miracle from the Most High to change that heart. Because I'm telling you, that joker is corrupted beyond repair. Okay? And there's no amount of emotional labor that you're going to do. If anything, in a situation where you meet a woman that's over 30 and she done had certain kind of experiences, she's going to make you pay the emotional tax burden will be placed on you. And I don't give a dang what level you are, nigga. You could be King 6'8" the Great. You get with some of these emotional damage women, you're going to pay. Because you're going to have to pay both an emotional labor and you're going to have to physically pay a penalty as well. And it's not even going to be something that's going to be long term. She's going to want to get a certain amount of payment out of you. You're going to be the beast of burden to satisfy her. And once she's reached that point where she feels like she's gotten enough out of you in terms of your time, your energy, your attention, your money, she's going to leave you and go the other way. She's going to hit you with the praying mantis, bro. You know what I'm saying? She's going to hit you with that praying mantis. That's what I call it, man. Because that's the way she's made right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I tell you, bro, I don't care. If a woman's over 30, she can meet the man of her dreams and she'll mess it up because she's so emotionally unstable. That's why I don't take them seriously. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Like, I think even, because you have to think about it. A woman that's 30, you damn near got to wait for her to be well past the wall where she is content with where she's at life and not going back. I'm going to give you an example of someone like that. Like a Holly Berry. Like Holly Berry is with her man right now. She's long gone. She's nowhere near her prime. She's well past it. And there's a certain amount of acceptance of reality that a woman hits at, way later in age where she knows she can't go back to being the old version of herself. And that probably took some time. And you saw she went through a lot of whatever. So, but if a woman is like 30 to, not hit 40 yet, heck, bro, there's a woman, and I'm not going to bring up her profile. Okay. I might have to set up a separate, channel or situation for something like that, where I can kind of go into analyzing certain women and their behaviors and what they promote. There's a woman, she's in her early 40s. She's out in Florida. She's a single mother. She is very good looking. She works out. She takes good care of herself. She's, even for 42, she's one of them ones that can come out here and she can pull, a wide range of men. Okay? But she leans into her sexuality heavily. And that's just a part of who she is. So think about a woman like that. And she says she's looking for a relationship. But she'll say she's looking for a relationship one day, next day she's not. Because she's focusing on, her career goals and raising her child. So you'll have a man that would be like, oh, she 42, she got a kid, but yada, yada, yada. Because sometimes you got men that they already have kids. So maybe, and mind you, in her situation, she says she does not want to be with a man that doesn't have kids. So she wants a man that already had it because she doesn't want to worry about not being able to offer that to a man because she's done. She has her child and she doesn't want no more. So her preference is a man that already has children, that's, older, established. And so now you got a man that's going to probably trying to deal with her. But guess what? Even though you view her as more mature, she's very sure of herself. She's confident. Mind you, I already told you what she leans into. This woman has certain behaviors and traits and things that she is accustomed to doing. You're never going to change that. You're not going to change that. So she's expecting you to accept all the way she is, like all her idiosyncrasies, her proclivities, okay? Her attitude, positive or negative, and you gotta be comfortable with that. There is no teaching an old dog new tricks. That's over with. So she's cooked. That's why I agree again with Paul Pierce. 30 and over is cooked. You can't mold a woman. She's too old to mold, and she's too cold to hold. Okay? These women get cold-hearted, bruh. They don't even have the warmness about them. I'm telling you, and I got another video that I kind of want to get into because I've actually experienced a situation, and I was like, yo, it made me realize something that I didn't like. You know, didn't take me long, because when I started thinking, I was like, oh, I got to get into this. I got to talk about this. So I'm going to talk about something else too that is interesting as well, that kind of deals with the same issue with a woman that's 30 and over and why they're cooked, but it's dealing with just a woman that's experienced. But yeah, and I'm not saying that there are no, rare gems out there. I'm not saying that. There's a occasional Lolo Jones type that might just really have strong convictions, and she might be out there. So don't assume because a woman is 30, she's automatically cooked. But for the most part, on average, yeah, the average woman is cooked. And just look at people that get into a relationship with a woman. Look at situations that you know in your personal life of a woman that's 30 and over when she started her relationship with a man. And if you're old enough, think about somebody 10 years back, 5 years back. Where is their relationship now? Did it last? Is it on the rocks? Are they separated? Think about it. And when I look at those type of situations, and I say, oh, makes sense. Because some of these are situations where the woman is so established in her way, they get married, they damn near living two separate lives. They're married on paper, they got kids, they got a house together, they got cars, they do the family photo ops, but really they're living separate lives in a lot of ways. So a lot of people don't even think about that. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode.
God bless, man. The business.
Yes.
Stay focused. The business. Thank you, Jesus. God bless, man.
He just rolled in and out. He just told the fuck just happened, man? What the fuck just happened, man? What just happened, man?